In the dead of winter, when temperatures plunge far below freezing for months on end, survival depends on more than luck. Across northern Russia, from the 17th to 19th centuries, families endured 6 months of frost and 6 months of cold that would cripple modern homes. Yet their firewood lasted astonishingly longer than anyone would expect. Estate logs, monastery accounts and household records show that these communities burned far less wood than contemporaries in Western Europe, even under similar conditions. This wasn't coincidence or exaggeration. It was ingenuity. The Russian stove wasn't a decorative fireplace or a piece of rustic charm. It was a finely tuned heat engine, a survival tool that turned wood into warmth with almost surgical efficiency. For historians and survivalists alike, understanding its design is not just a lesson in the past. It's a blueprint for heating smarter today. The first secret is that heat is trapped, not wasted. Most fireplaces and stoves rely on a vertical chimney to draw smoke upward. It's simple, it looks good, but it wastes the majority of the heat. The Russian stove flips this principle entirely. Inside its brick and stone body lies a labyrinth of channels, deliberately carved so that smoke and hot gases travel sideways, downward, and then upward again before escaping. Every twist and turn is intentional, extracting heat that would otherwise vanish. The stove becomes a heat reservoir rather than a simple conduit for fire. For anyone trying to conserve fuel today, the lesson is clear: trap the heat. Whether you're building a small cabin, a rocket mass heater, or even a makeshift wilderness stove, forcing heat to linger multiplies its effectiveness. 2 hours of fire in a properly constructed mass heater can warm a room for an entire day. This isn't conjecture. It's physics applied over centuries. The second lesson is that mass stores heat like nothing else. Metal stoves heat quickly, but the warmth disappears as fast as it arrives. The Russian stove operates on the opposite principle. Built from tons of brick, it absorbs heat slowly and radiates it steadily for hours. Families would light a fire in the morning, close the stove, and let the stored warmth carry them through the day and night. You know, photographs from the early 20th century show children and adults sleeping directly atop the stove platform, using its mass as a heated bed. For survivalists today, this principle translates directly: prioritize storage over speed. Stone, brick or cob allows you to hold on to heat far longer than a flashy metal stove ever could. And, well, efficiency isn't about a roaring flame. It's about steady, enduring warmth. The horizontal firebox extracts every ounce of energy from the wood. Another overlooked feature is the stove's low horizontal firebox. Flames burn along the length of the chamber instead of rushing upward, giving hot gases time to mix and reburn. This ensures that almost every bit of fuel is consumed before smoke escapes. Modern rocket stoves and batchbox designs follow the same principle, but you know, the Russians perfected it centuries earlier. Survivalists working in the field can mimic this concept by digging channels, sealing gaps with clay, or building small stone batchbox stoves. The key isn't burning more wood, it's burning smarter. Contain the fire, allow gases to reburn, and, well, maximize energy output from every piece of fuel. The stove was a complete survival system, not just a source of heat. What makes the Russian stove legendary isn't just efficiency, it's multifunctionality. It cooked food, dried clothes, warmed bedding, preserved herbs, and even provided a heated platform for recovering from illness. The slow-cooking chamber above the firebox created nutritious stews and porridges, while, niches kept boots, herbs, or laundry dry. Modern survivalists can borrow this mindset immediately. A stove should do more than heat a room. Design it to cook, dry and store heat for multiple purposes. Every BTU counts, and every calorie from your fire should serve multiple functions. The deeper lesson is that survival engineering grows from necessity, not luxury. The Russian stove was not a luxury item. It evolved over generations under brutal conditions, refined by families who had no margin for waste. Every curve, channel and brick placement reflects a culture that had to stretch resources through endless winters. For contemporary builders, homesteaders or preppers, the takeaway is simple. Conserve energy, multiply utility, and build for endurance. Fuel longevity isn't about stockpiling. It's about holding on to the heat you create and making every flame work harder. These principles still outperform many modern heating systems, even those developed as late as World War II. Mastering the Russian stove isn't about copying history, it's about applying its timeless principles. Build for mass, trap heat, reburn gases, and ensure every unit of energy performs multiple functions. That's how rural families survived brutal winters with a fraction of the firewood their Western neighbours used, and that's how you can heat smarter today. If you want more in-depth explorations of forgotten engineering, historical survival systems, and strategies that worked in the real world, subscribe to Warfront Survival. Share this video with fellow enthusiasts, because this knowledge isn't just history, it's a survival lesson waiting to be applied.